Hello and welcome to Ibby's Digital Nomad Stories, featuring real conversations with professionals who've cracked the code to sustainable nomadic lifestyles. These people aren't beach and Wi-Fi chasers, they're building competitive advantages that traditional employment could never match. Global mobility, income diversification, and the freedom to capitalize on opportunities anywhere. I'm Ibi Malik, your favorite digital nomad consultant, and today I'm joined on the show by Edouard Renard, someone who's built a career around the freedom to capitalize on only the opportunities he actually wants. He walked away from his own robotics startup on the verge of raising serious outside investment. Most founders would kill for that position. Why? Because he'd built something that didn't align with what he actually wanted to create. So he started teaching robotics online instead, and then made a killing from it, remotely and passively. But now he's walking away from that too? Why? Because he's launching his own co-living space and wants to build something which has human connection at its core. See, this is a masterclass in walking away from what everybody else wants in order to build what you actually believe in. We're here at Chateau Co-Living in Normandy. Here's Edouard. Why did you want to become a nomad? How long have you been a nomad? Tell me something fun about being a nomad.
Ooh. I mean, it comes back to, it was 2014. It was between two universities. I was still in university.
2014?
Wait for it. So, no, I was in university. I didn't think of anything nomad. I have never traveled long and stuff in my life, but I did. So we had to travel. We had to have a work experience outside of France for our university.
Like as part of the course?
Yeah. So you could do an internship, or what I did with a friend is just do some kind of moving stuff. Went 2 months in the US and Canada. And I'm talking about this because it's when I did this, I realized, oh damn, I want to travel. Not just going 1 week holiday somewhere, but spending 1 month
to travel.
Yeah, spending long time, 1 month, 2 months in one place, meeting the people, discovering the culture of the people. And I think this is kind of the thing that's, it's I don't want to say the awakening or whatever, but something like that.
Like the spark.
Yeah, the spark. Yeah, the kind of the seed.
And where did you go?
Huh?
Where did you go?
I went to Brooklyn.
Okay.
And then I went to Ontario in Canada.
Okay.
Then I went to North Carolina.
North Carolina.
And I went to Tennessee.
Okay.
Kingsport, Tennessee.
And how long did you spend there?
It's about 2 weeks each. 2 weeks. Yeah, the random places.
And then you were like, fuck, 2 weeks is not enough. The seed is planted.
It was not about 2 weeks, not enough. It was the whole thing was 2 months. And I was like, wow, that's great. I want to do that again. But I never did, because then you just go to university again, another internship, get a job. I mean, get a job. I co-founded my own startup, which is even worse, because it's not like you enter a jail, you create your own jail in the terms of you cannot travel.
Because the startup was local? It was fixed to
a robotic startup, physical hardware startup. So you cannot, you cannot just say, oh, I'm going to be remote. It's not fancy web service, IT startup, everybody's remote and stuff. No, it's a proper hardware stuff. You need to be on site.
I see.
And so how I become a nomad, I'm not sure I was fully nomad, but late 2019, I decided to quit that.
Mm-hmm. But it was your own startup.
Yes.
So you didn't quit, you closed it?
I was a co-founder, so I just left. I know it's weird. Usually people quit their own startup when things go wrong.
Yeah.
Nothing did go wrong. I just decided I didn't want to continue.
Clever man.
I wanted to travel. And also I was not so aligned with where I was going.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't, I had so I left after 3 years. I was very motivated at the beginning, but then at some point I didn't really like where we were going. Still, it made sense to go where we were going, but I didn't really like it myself. I didn't feel that motivated to continue.
Why?
So we were focusing on we did a robotic arm, which is this thing that in the car factories that pick the place and stuff.
To build the cars.
Yeah, but you see what I mean by robotic. Because when I say robotic arm, people think we're doing like an arm, like a prosthesis or something. But it's like those industrial robotic arm, but it was not for industry, it was for education.
How does an arm help in the education world?
So basically, to make it short, the price of one robotic arm like this was 10 to 20 times cheaper than a robotic arm that you could buy, a real one. So for education universities, that was like a real thing, because instead of buying one robot for like 3 universities, they could buy a few robots for each class and actually use that. And so that was educational market that we did. And then it made sense to go more into the industrial market, which is so much more complicated.
And did you get the robot out to some universities?
Yeah.
So the startup sounds pretty successful.
Yeah, we sold we were selling between 30 to 50 robots per month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how much is each robot worth? Just to give me an idea.
It was about we started low, but then it was like 2,000.
Nice. Okay, so this was a full running startup.
Yes, we didn't even have outside investment yet.
Yeah.
So actually, I left. Yeah, I left for 3 reasons. There was because I was not aligned with changing from. I liked the educational market, and the industrial market was something completely new. We had to go through all those certification stuff. It was just and something a lot of things I didn't know, and I was starting to manage a team of engineers, and I was like, I have no idea what I'm not even interested in learning that. Yeah, and then it was also before we were gonna raise some money from VCs.
So you were going out for funding.
Yeah, so it doesn't make sense as a co-founder to just do that and quit after that, because you have the bad liver clause and stuff. So so it's you don't go into the deal. It's like either you go into the deal and you stay for 7-10 years, or you don't go into it. And so that was the right moment for me to just quit, because also I wanted to travel, and so that's where I quit. And I was like, let's travel.
Okay. And it started from that whole so between 2014 and 2019, you were focused on university and the startup and all of that stuff. And then afterwards you were like, fuck this, let's go.
Yeah, kind of. So I did a trip. So I left my startup in September, end of September 2019. But in March 2019, I had a 2-week holiday with friends. We went to Vietnam, and I was like, okay, I needed this break, because I'm gonna be recharged. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna feel recharged. It's gonna be nice. I go there. It's nice. I come back. I didn't feel recharged. I came back. I was like, the first day after I came back, I was like, oh my God, no. And so I took the decision at this point. So okay, I need to. It was a hard decision to tell to my co-founder that I'm leaving. So it probably took me a month or 2 to properly decide that and tell him. And then I stayed for another 5-6 months to properly finish. Because the co-founder is you don't just replace a co-founder like that. There's nobody who can just pick the same role. You have to.
It's a hard thing to do, especially if the business is established as well.
Yeah.
So that puts you at early COVID then, right?
Yeah. So late 2019, I quit that. I decided to do nothing for 2 months, because I was like, I want to do nothing. Doing nothing is not a good idea. But then, it was around Christmas, so I did stuff with my family.
And you had some savings to back you up for that period.
Yeah, and in France, you get government's money.
Oh,
unemployment.
Unemployment.
Yeah, it's not.
Isn't it the best? I've been unemployed before. I love it.
Yeah, but did you get government's money?
I got £300 a month.
No, it was more than that. It was not much. It was basically minimum wage, but it's enough.
God bless France.
Yeah. Well, we pay a lot of taxes, but then if you get fired of your own startup, then you can get government money. And then I started to travel. First destination was Mexico. I landed there, I think late January or early February. And
this was not a nomadic travel. This was just a full travel. This was just I'm gonna go travel.
No, I was having my computer with me and working, and I didn't. It's kind of like, you start this new life, and I didn't know really how I wanted to travel, what I wanted to do. I already had the idea of, because now I'm doing like those online courses, robotics online courses.
Yeah.
So basically, I teach what I learned before in my startup.
Yeah.
The tech part.
Okay.
And yeah.
But you had that in Mexico, or you made that in Mexico? Like, when did you start working on the robotics courses?
Oh, after I quit my startup. I studied to. It's not. It's hard to draw like a line exactly to say, here's the story of step 1, 2, 3. It's a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a backup. Like when I left, I had already this idea. Like I had a plan, a backup plan. Like I didn't leave. Like I'm gonna just go to a play. Like
okay, that was a plan.
Go to play handpan in a hostel in Thailand.
Okay, what was the plan? Tell me the plan. What was the plan?
The plan. The plan was that
the plan was, so you knew that you were in robotics, and you were an expert in that field. Were you an expert in that field?
I mean, it depends who you talk to, but I guess yes.
It sounds like you were.
Yeah, we could say so.
And then the plan was to sell that robotic skill set?
Yeah, so actually it's like I realized that. So I was, let's say, quite good at robotics. Well, I know my stuff in robotics, right? And then also in my startup, I did a lot of marketing. So I learned marketing from scratch. I mean, I'm not saying like very expert marketing, but like SEO, writing blogs, landing pages, basically like creating funnels and selling stuff online, right?
Yeah.
So I learned that. And there's also the educational part that I kind of liked. And I've done like some educational stuff before. I did like some math class, like private math teaching.
Yeah.
I did some stuff like that. So I was like, maybe I could combine that and then sell. Together. Yeah, because it's I think when you have like different skill sets that are not necessarily matching, but it can be a very good combo.
Yeah.
Because how many good robotics engineers are going to be good at explaining what they do? It's like you take a very expert engineer.
Technical minds.
Yeah?
They're all technical minds rather than business minds.
Explaining to beginners, most people are not able to do that. And then how many engineers like marketing? Not so many. So it's like, I think it's not about being most expert in one domain. It's about just like being an expert at the whole combination of, So basically now I wouldn't say like I'm an expert in robotics. I'm an expert at teaching robotics online. It's not the same thing.
Exactly. And it's a good solopreneur skill set though, right? That you built up in your startup where you're like, okay, I understand how business works. I understand how marketing works. I have the skill set that I need. And it's very impressive that you recognize that you're not an expert in robotics. You're an expert in teaching robotics.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. So when did you record your first course?
Well, I started quite soon after the startup thingy.
Yeah.
I started to write actually tutorials. I have a website, like written tutorials. And then I started
blogging.
Yeah, kind of blogging, but like a tutorial.
Okay.
Yeah, but really like oriented SEO, like people who search how to do this with that.
Yeah.
And then I started to record, and I saw that it was working, meaning that I started to get a bit of money from that. Nothing. I was still like on government money. Like it was not enough to break the government money stuff, but it was starting to work. I mean, I kind of validated the concept quite early.
Yeah.
Then I didn't know exactly how I wanted to do it. If I wanted to go, because now I'm teaching on Udemy mostly, but if I wanted to go full Udemy or do my own platform with different pricing and different packaging and stuff. So I tried different things, like mostly like 2020, 2021. I tried different things.
Like what?
Like for example, one of my first courses, I sold it on my own website. For the context, Udemy, if you don't know, like Udemy, they sell the courses it's very cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you have a high volume of courses, but it's cheap. So in the end, you earn money because it's volume. It's like a book, right? You're not gonna make a lot of money by selling one book, but if you sell 10,000 books, then that's how the money comes with kind of royalties system.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, Yeah, I mean, the best would be to sell my own platform
Yeah.
with a premium price.
Yeah.
That's what I tried to do, lots of effort. And then I had some sales, but not much. And then I put it on Udemy, and then I had double sales with no marketing. That was in 2020. It's not the same anymore today, but
Interesting.
yeah. Also because I think the niche I am in is very specific, is developers.
Yeah.
So you can it's like you can sell a lot of things to a lot of people, but to like developers, it's very like they don't want to pay for stuff.
And is that why it worked better on Udemy, because the prices were lower?
Yeah, and also my audience is international. It's not just the US and Europe. Like
Of course.
my second country is India.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's like 1 billion people there, right?
yeah, so it's like you're gonna say to Indian people who learn to code, like pay $100, they're gonna say nope.
But if you pay $20, then
Yeah, and even like Udemy has this geo-targeting price. So you pay even like they pay like 400 rupees, which is maybe, I don't know, like $3 or
Really?
I don't know the conversion, but yeah. So it depends on the country they pay. So it's quite nice in a way that everybody in all the country can actually pay something that's affordable for them.
Yeah.
So in the end, you just get customers from all over the world.
So you left the startup with the skill set that you needed. You started with the technical guides, the blog type website stuff. You tried to sell on your website, but then realized that Udemy was better.
Yeah.
Then what happened?
Then I started to do more courses and put them on Udemy. Not just Udemy, I was also using other platforms like Skillshare and other stuff. Yeah, so like 2021 when I was doing that.
Yeah.
So just creating more courses, more tutorials.
Yeah.
I also started video tutorials on YouTube.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just like creating more stuff of what I know.
And what did that success look and feel like? Was there success there? Did you feel that like it was working?
Yeah, I mean, it's like every course that I put, it sells more, brings additional revenue. So yeah, it was working. Like we're like kind of building my audience in a way. It was never like I didn't have like a big bump, like a big buzz or whatever. It was always like kind of linear growth, but I like it's like stable growth. So it also doesn't go down like too quick. But yeah, it's like basically, I was like the more work I put in, the better the result. Yeah. And also it's like it's not just about the graphs, It's about like also when you get nice reviews of people saying, "Hey, thanks to you, I could actually get my career into this." Or like motivate me to it's cool. Like motivate me to do this project, and finally I can understand.
You were helping people. You were benefiting the world.
Yeah.
By the way, it sounds like you come across as a very successful person. You're like, I did my startup, all good, yeah, fine, we did some universities, we did some industries, we were going to raise funding, and then I just quit. And now you're like, oh, yeah, I did Udemy, and I just made some money, and now all good. It's very inspiring, by the way. When did you feel like it was really working? Like you quit your job at the end of 2019.
Yeah.
Right? What year or month or whatever were you like, damn, it's working?
I would say, yeah, I mean, after maybe 1 or 2 years that I could see like it was growing, and I could see that if I would put more effort, it would keep growing. I mean, in terms of business, then in terms of more like overall life satisfaction, I mean, of course you need the money, but then I think it's also that I realized I could actually travel. And actually when I went to first co-living, it was 1 year after leaving a startup. Then it was like late 2020. At this time, my business started to grow a bit more. Nothing really too much, but grow a bit more. And then I went to this co-living, and I realized that's also what I want to do. Like I want to go to co-livings. And there I could find a community, and there I could have like a good life, like work-life balance. And then I think it's like, yeah, this is worth it. This is what success looks like. It's not just the business. It's also like having the time, having the people.
So the real success felt present and there when it enabled the lifestyle. Is that what we're getting at?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, the success for me is not just about the. I mean, it depends if you're talking just about business. Yeah, there's like business success, but for me, success is also like just living the life you like. Yeah, spending good time.
And I have one last question on this side before we go on. How long did it take you to leave the government money?
About a year.
About a year?
Yeah.
Is it around the time that you went for the co-living?
Yeah, about that. Yeah, about that. Yeah.
So it sounds like that's the point where the lifestyle was enabled, where the business was taking off and things sort of came together.
Yeah, but I wouldn't even necessarily say that because it's like I mean I'm quite frugal and I think I can live for cheap. And it's like if you tell me you need like 2,000 euro per month to live like this, okay, but I could have also done stuff for just 600 euro per month, you know. But like it's I think I don't know, like you can manage to live for cheaper. So I'm not, yeah. I don't know if it's like a clear answer for your podcast, but
Everything is a clear answer. In fact, sometimes there's no clear answer. Sometimes it's just people, humans living their lives. Okay. So then, what did the co-livings look like for you? Because you've been co-living for a long time.
yeah, like 5 years. I mean, not just co-living. I had at some point I was renting a flat
In France?
in Spain.
In Spain. Oh, okay, very nice. And what was the feeling like being in co-livings? I mean, you were obviously working in tech. You were working in tech. You're working online as a digital nomad. You were in this pre-COVID. No, you were in the COVID world.
Right in the COVID.
Right in the COVID world. What did it look like in co-livings?
What did it look like?
Yeah, how was COVID for you?
COVID was great. No, I did get COVID. It was bad. So for 2 weeks, but then COVID was great for me. No, it was. I mean, it was also the time I was studying this, so I had lots of time to actually work on that. You know, like, and then, I did manage to get to like some co-livings before. Like in France, we had different lockdown, but before the second lockdown, I managed to kind of escape that and be in a co-living. So we were basically locked down together, which was much better than being locked down alone in a flat. And how does it? Yeah, I would say that for me, co-living is like when you're nomading, when you're traveling and working online. It's hard to. There are two things I would say. It's hard to find like proper accommodation with like good working setup, good Wi-Fi, good just being. It's such a basic thing. You think like having an ergonomic chair, an ergonomic desk, Wi-Fi, silence. And it seems easy, but it's not.
It's not.
So when you travel, it's super hard to find. And then when you find that, you also need, because you travel and you don't, it's hard to meet people. You go to a hostel, but everybody's living in 3 days, or you go to a new city, but it takes time to meet people. So for me, the co-living is really like you go, you have a good environment to work. You have lots of space to live, your kitchen, lots of different spaces, like maybe a gym, well, it depends on the co-living, each has their own specificities. And then you also have the community. And what I like is you don't need to, like when you have your own flat, you always need to make your own effort to go out. Like you finish your day of work, you need to go out, do the effort of meeting people. And your co-living is as simple as just going into the living room, sitting down and just being there.
And they all come to you.
Exactly.
And they're all looking for the same thing.
Exactly. So that to me, that's like a real like problem solver.
Yeah. And in the 5 years that you were co-living and nomading and being around, did you feel that it benefited your nomad business, your robotics business?
Well, I mean, for the audience and stuff, like definitely no. because I'm selling to like robotics engineers and like PhD stuff. Like there's nobody travels and like.
So you weren't benefiting people that you were traveling with.
No, but benefiting in, I don't know, like, I mean, for sure, more about like the business, the marketing and stuff. It's like you exchange ideas and people kind of understand what you do. Because other than that, it's always hard to explain to people. So I would say in co-living, if you have other people working online, they understand better your business. So yeah, I mean, I would say probably benefited in that way that I could exchange like ideas more on the business side, marketing side. Yeah, I had some good conversation with people. Yeah.
Did you meet other people that were doing similar things to you?
You mean like online robotics teacher? No.
I can imagine there's not that many online robotics teachers out there.
Similar. I mean, there are people. Okay, so the thing is, there are a lot of people doing those online courses but then you have to go to Bali because.
Did you ever go to Bali?
I've been to Bali.
Oh my gosh!
just for a few days to visit friends. Okay. No, but it's like I'm doing online courses, but I'm not teaching. I'm not teaching drop shipping.
Yeah.
I'm not teaching how to invest in crypto.
Yeah.
I'm not teaching how to create online courses. This is like the golden thing. Is like you do an online course about how to create an online course.
What the fuck even is that?
What I've noticed is those people actually mostly they started to create an online course business because they watched somebody teaching how to create an online course. So they were like, oh, I'm going to do that. It's going to work. And then they realized that, I mean, they have no like tangible thing to teach. And they fail about that. So what they do instead is they teach other people how to teach. That's what I've noticed. The same for dropshipping.
It's ridiculous, right?
Oh, and then you have the coaches coaching other coaches how to coach coaches.
How to coach coaches.
So, yes. No, I'm not into that.
Honestly, this is one of my biggest grievances about people teaching online courses and At least you didn't go and live in Bali and teach online courses.
At least I've been to Thailand and Chiang Mai.
Okay.
I'm guilty, but I like it there. I don't know. Yeah, I thought I would not, but it's nice.
Mm-hmm. It's sad, but it's nice.
Yes, I'm guilty.
Okay. So did your online business enable your lifestyle completely and comfortably for 5 whole years?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I would say yeah.
Another success story. You're full of these success stories. Oh, okay. So, look, usually people are at the beginning phase where they're like, or at least the listeners to this podcast would be like, oh yeah, I want to launch my online business. I want to enable that lifestyle. I want to do that stuff and live for 5 years from my online course. But you're actually at a very different stage in your life now from what I'm gathering from you. You've had enough of this 5 years and you're like, I want to start a new project.
Yeah.
What's the new project?
Ooh, a co-living.
You're going to launch a co-living.
I'm going to launch a co-living.
Why?
Maybe become some Wait, say it again.
Why are you going to launch a co-living? You're just so excited.
Yeah, maybe I'm stupid.
Your track record would say otherwise. So there must be some like proper. There's some brain going on in there.
No. So here's the thing: I know it sounds a bit weird, but so I was talking about teaching robotics and stuff. I'm not that passionate about this, and now I'm like, I'm so down with it. Like, I don't find the motivation to continue on this.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say for somebody, I know somebody else could be like really passionate about that. And sometimes I wish I would be passionate because then I could go much further with that first business and just continue traveling. But for me, it's just not fulfilling anymore that much. Mm. So I continue to do it. It's nice, but I don't find that much motivation from it. So I was looking for a project that gives me more purpose and not necessarily is about like doing a business for business. Mm. Yeah. And so I like I really like co-living, and I have several ideas of like many different things, project that could be like completely random, different opposite ideas. But this co-living thingy, I would say, it's like an idea that I had basically since I've been to co-living. I was like, oh, maybe one day I could create my own, but just as an idea, you know. And so this year it came more as a project. I don't know. I was traveling, and then I had this kind of realization. Yeah, I think it's a good time to do it. And also having seen other co-living is like, I see how co-living evolves, because the co-living in year 1 is not the same as the co-living in year 5.
Of course.
It evolves because of the owner, because of like different values that changes, the project that changes and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I would like to actually create my own co-living with my own values, and basically like having my own boat, kind of, you know. And yeah.
Nice. And in the co-living, what values do you imagine that you would want to create? I mean, you've been doing this for 5 years now. So what do you imagine you want to bring into the world?
Yeah. So for me, like, at least at the beginning, that's my like initial vision, is have like a place that is kind of like a homey place, that is open most of the time, so that you can come. It's kind of like the tagline would be something like, you can come home, like feel like home, and then you can come back. This kind of stuff. Yeah, like a place that's like very based, like authenticity, like sharing stuff with others, just spending time with others, and yeah, just a bit of fun, cannot hurt, and then yeah, just feeling home. Yes.
What's your definition of a co-living?
Oh, damn it. What's my definition of a co-living? It's yeah, I don't know. What's my definition of a co-living? I mean, it depends who you talk to.
You've been co-living for 5 years and you're trying to launch a co-living.
It's hard to define. Like I was going to the bank because you need a bank account for the company. And I was like, well, what are you doing? I'm co-living. I'm like, oh, what is a co-living? I was like, are you gonna explain to the banker what's co-living? Like, no. But I would say, for somebody who's a nomad?
Yeah.
Okay. Jeanne, what is a co-living?
Jeanne, what is a co-living?
What is a co-living? It's very hard to define. I would say
That's exactly what he just said.
it's very hard to define. It's a feeling.
It's a feeling.
You see?
Did you say it's a feeling? It's a feeling.
It's a feeling.
It's a feeling.
It's a feeling that's very feeling.
Okay.
You're gonna cut that.
Nisha, co-living is a feeling that's very feeling.
No, yeah, I would say co-living is a place. So if it's not necessarily for nomads. It could be for nomads, but for people who also want to just spend a few weeks or a few months outside of their own place. It's not necessarily for nomad full time, but yeah, it's a place you can like come, live. If you want, you can work. There's all the facilities, and there's the community. It's kind of what I said before about like you have the proper working environment and the community. So you have all of that in one place. I know community is a broad word, but it brings like those two together. And then you have all those networks of co-living. So it's also you tie into a community that's bigger than just one place. So then you can make friends, like then travel together, and you just create a new network of people. And yeah, each co-living is going to be a bit different, but also a bit similar. And then also, what is a co-living also is a good question. I think there's also another question is like, what is not a co-living? Because it's not like, okay, a hotel is very clear what a hotel is. And there's like regulation, even laws about what a hotel is, how you can call an hotel and not call it a hotel. The same for hostel and different like status of accommodation for different countries. But a co-living is like anything could be a co-living. You could have somebody buying a big flat in a city doing like shared rooms. And instead of calling that roommates, they could call that a co-living. And with maybe like cleaning once per week, maybe like they can have a small cinema room with Netflix and stuff, and they're gonna call that a co-living because then you can charge more. And then you have those co-livings, like those kind of more rural co-livings, maybe not in the city, but mostly like rural co-livings, focus more on the community aspect, and it feels less like a business. So there are many places that you can find that are called co-living that would not necessarily meet the definition that I have of my like this co-living. So it's hard to explain, but yeah, I would say, yeah, a place like you can come for work and the community.
So Jean just said it's a feeling. What feeling does the co-living give you? Does a co-living? What feeling does the ideal co-living give you? Like the feeling that you might want to create in your co-living.
Yeah, for me, it's like feeling of family. Like everybody has different definition of family, but for me, it's also like you feel like you feel you're just good here with other people, and it's like a family feeling. And of course, it's not because you know that everybody's gonna move on with their life and go different places. So it's for a few weeks or a few months. But I would say, yeah, it's like family feeling. Yeah, I'm gonna stay on this one.
If we think about your track record.
Ooh.
Track record.
That's a nice word.
Yeah. So you had the startup, which did pretty good. And then you were like, oh, I want to try something new. And you were like, okay. Then you launched this robotics teaching business. And it did pretty good. And now you're like, okay, now I want to try something new. And I'm lucky because I get to see you at this point when you're launching the co-living. Where do you imagine you'll be in 5 years?
I have no idea. I don't know. In 5 years, I mean, yeah, 5 years is a long time. No, but
Hit me with 3 years then.
3 years, yeah. Now, 3 years, I imagine that the co-living is going to be, it takes at least like 1 or 2 years to set it up properly. You know, there's a bit of renovation and then you launch it. And then the first year is very experimental, I guess. And then second year is a bit less experimental. You start to know a bit more, like, you know, a bit more stable on everything. Yeah. And then on the third year, yeah, I think in 3 years, my ideas, I'm gonna be like in my co-living, maybe like stay there as a home base, keep traveling for a few months per year. And then in 5 years, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm gonna have another project. I don't know.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
I can see you in another project. And are you gonna keep your robotics teaching business running for this whole period?
Yeah. So because it's like online courses, so
passive income.
I don't like that word that much. Because it's passive income. Then I could teach I could do an online course about passive income. That would be real passive income. Now it's passive in a way that the money I earn this month has nothing to do with what I'm doing this month. That's how I define passive. It's because of the work before. But then if I start working on it, it's gonna go down because, well, especially for software and robotics, things keep evolving. So I have courses I need to re-record every like 3 or 4 years. Otherwise it becomes obsolete and then competition comes and then I just go down to zero. So yes, I'm going to keep working on that, but less hours because I have the foundation now. So I can be more in a maintaining mode than developing mode for the business.
So it's not fully passive income. It's partially passive income because you need to keep working on it to maintain it. But if you do a certain amount of maintenance, you can keep it running.
Yes.
What do you imagine that level of maintenance to keep the passive income running is? A day, a week, a month, or what?
10 hours per week.
You worked it out?
Yeah.
You know it?
Yeah.
Have you been doing 10 hours per week before?
A bit more, but yeah, I know 10 hours per week should be fine to maintain.
And if you were maintaining your 10 hours per week, we don't have to go into specifics of numbers here, but would you be able to keep your lifestyle running as it is right now?
Yeah, yes, but this is something like, yes, for a few years, because the industry changes so much. Competition changes so much. Everything like we're now with AI, but AI and teaching online is a big challenge with that. And then the platforms, they change their model and they change their commission rates. And then some of the platforms that, like, for example, I was on Skillshare. I'm not on Skillshare anymore because they're just I don't know, they're just shooting themselves in the foot, and with other instructors as well. But it's like the answer is yes for a few years. But then, for example, I have no expectation that this is going to work for 10 years. For example, I know in 20 years, I'm out of this business. Like, it's impossible. Or I need to really adapt, keep adapting. And adapting is not just about maintaining, it's about using all the new trends and the new ways of teaching and and just like completely retransforming your business. So it's like, can I keep having this lifestyle and everything with this business? Yes, for a few years. And at some point it's going to crash. I know that. 5 years, 10 years?
5 years. But you're going to be ready for it because you're already adapting.
Yeah. I mean, my level of adaptation, I feel old already. So my level of adaptation for that, I'm not going like full in like transforming everything. Yeah.
Damn.
So I know at some point it's going to crash. But yeah, I'm going to be with other things.
You're going to be in your co-living. You're going to be in your castle, creating the vibe that you want with your family vibe that you're trying to create.
Yeah.
Damn. Man, what I would say is you come across as a super duper successful, and your track record is incredible. I wish I had more time to ask questions, but I'm actually running low on time. We've even, I think, gone over the 30-minute mark, so I'm going to have to call it there, man. But I would... I get to live with you for another week.
Ooh.
Woohoo!
Wow.
Zach. It was a pleasure, man.